All right, happy Thursday. Mr. Pereira's not home from work yet, so we're going to read our bedtime stories from the Disney bedtime favorites, just me and Addie. Right? For bedtime tonight.
I'm party dad will come home, maybe at 3.
All right, so last night we read Sleeping Beauty. Today is Winnie the Pooh, Piglet's Nightlights. Sound good to you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. It's page 239. So let's see where 239 is. Ooh, it's pretty far back.
No, maybe I love that bill.
We did. We read the cat story. We read Sleeping Beauty. And now it's time for Piglet's
Wait a minute.
Nightlights.
Mama, I see that one.
Yeah, that was the end of the story from last night. All right, Piglet's Nightlights. You ready?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Can you hold the page down here?
Come on here.
It was twilight in the 100-acre wood when Winnie the Pooh knocked on his good friend Piglet's door. Pooh was carrying a backpack with an enormous pot of honey sticking out of the top. Ready for the camp out, Piglet? Pooh called. Piglet opened the door and looked around anxiously. Are you really quite sure about this, Pooh? He asked. It's getting awfully dark out there. It's so light and cozy in here. Maybe we could just camp out in my living room. That would be a camp in, not a camp out, Pooh said. He reminded Piglet that their friends would be going too. Piglet smiled nervously. Pooh offered to help Piglet get ready. He stuffed hay corn muffins into Piglet's backpack, while Piglet neatly packed his favorite blanket and teddy bear. I have the feeling I'm forgetting something, Piglet said. Well, let's see, Pooh said. We have honey. He patted the sticky honey pot on his back. And we have plenty of muffins, just to be sure. Pooh tucked 2 more next to Piglet's teddy bear. What else could we possibly need? Pooh and Piglet started toward the campsite. As they walked, it got darker and darker, and Piglet got more and more frightened. What's that? He asked suddenly, pointing at a scary-looking shape in the trees. I'm not certain, Piglet, Pooh answered. He was beginning to get a bit nervous himself. Maybe if we close our eyes, it will go away. He and Piglet shut their eyes and stood very still for a few minutes. Hello, down there, called a voice from above. Pooh and Piglet both jumped, startled. Who's there? Pooh asked, trembling as he looked up at the trees. All he could see were 2 eyes staring down at them. Why, it's me, Owl, the voice answered. I thought you 2 might need some help finding the others. We owls can see quite well at night, you know. Oh, thank you, Owl, Piglet said.
Sometimes Owl has eyes.
By the time the friends reached the campsite, it was completely dark. Pooh bumped into Rabbit, who was struggling to put up the tent. Well, don't just stand there, Rabbit said. I need all the help I can get. Did I hear someone say help? Tigger called, bouncing into the clearing. Have no fear, Tigger's here with illumination, he said proudly, holding up a lantern. Oh, and you brought a light too, cried Piglet, peeking out from under the hood of his jacket. Thank goodness, it's awfully dark out here. Piglet doesn't like the dark. What do you think?
And I turn to pink. See, I like pink better.
You like pink better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. With the lantern lighting the area, the friends set up the tent. Piglet climbed inside and began to unpack. A few minutes later, he poked his head back out. Oh no, he wailed. I forgot my nightlight. I can't sleep without one. He wrung his hands. What am I going to do? Don't worry, buddy boy, Tigger said. You can use my lantern as a nightlight. Just then, the lantern flickered out. On second thought, Tigger said, diving into the tent to dig through Rabbit's bag. Long Ears must have something in here you can use. Tigger found a kite, a flower pot, and kitchen pans. He pulled them out and saw garden tools and a ball. Finally, at the very bottom, he spotted a flashlight. Tigger tried to turn it on, but nothing happened. "This thingamabob's not working either," he cried. At that moment, there was a crash in the nearby bushes. "Look what we found," Pooh exclaimed. He pointed to Eeyore, who was standing next to Rabbit and Owl. Eeyore looked around. "Can't have a camp out without a campfire," he said. Everyone agreed wholeheartedly. They went to gather some sticks, and a few minutes later, a cheerful fire was burning. "Campfires certainly are pleasant," Piglet said. "They make a very good sort of light."
Mama, who is that?
That is Tigger.
Tigger?
T-I-double-G-R.
And who is that?
That's
And
Rabbit,
that.
and that's Eeyore, and that's Owl, and that's Piglet, and that's Pooh. And I know these characters very well because Uncle Matt used to watch this movie over and over and over 100 times.
Uncle what?
Uncle Matt. Yeah, he used to watch it when he was a toddler, baby like you. Yeah, it's a movie, and he used to watch it over and over and over. They do a fantastic job cooking marshmallows too, Tigger cried, wrestling with a particular gooey marshmallow.
Mama, him have a little bow on the tail.
Eeyore does. He has a little bow on his tail. "Fire is fine," Rabbit said, "but I think sunlight is the best light of all. It makes my vegetables grow. I like the way the sun warms my tummy when I lie in the grass," Pooh said. "And all the colors at sunset are splendid," Piglet added. "Look at that shadow on the tent," Tigger interrupted. "That looks like your tail to me," Rabbit said. "Well, what do you know?" Tigger replied. "Guess what it is?" Rabbit asked, fluttering his hands like a butterfly. Tigger and Owl looked at the tent. The shape was moving on it. "Why, it's a shadow puppet," Owl declared. Addie likes to do shadow puppets with Mom's flashlight, don't you? Yeah. On my phone. The friends played shadow puppets until almost bedtime. Then almost everyone went to bed. Piglet wouldn't leave the light of the fire, though. Pooh decided to keep him company. After a short while, the fire began to fade. "Maybe we should go to sleep now, Piglet," Pooh said, yawning.
Let that go.
"All right, but it's blowing. Look what happens when I let it go. It blows around." After a short while, the fire began to fade. "Maybe we should go to sleep now, Piglet," Pooh said, yawning. "I can't sleep without a nightlight, Pooh," Piglet replied. Pooh tapped his forehead to wake up any ideas that might be there. "Think, think, think," he said.
Mom,
Looking up at the night sky, Pooh thought of something. "The stars are nightlights, Piglet," he said, pointing up at the sparkling stars. You see all those stars in the sky? Yeah, we're almost finished. Just then a firefly. Uh-oh, Addie knows about fireflies too.
I love fireflies.
You do like fireflies. Just then a firefly landed right in between Pooh's eyes. Crossing his eyes to see it, Pooh tumbled backward off the log that he was sitting on. "And so are fireflies," he added. Piglet looked around. "You're right," Pooh cried. There are nightlights everywhere." Piglet pointed to the moon. "Look how bright the moon is tonight," he said. "It's even brighter than my own nightlight. I feel much better." "Do you think you might be able to sleep now, Piglet?" Pooh asked with a huge yawn. Piglet. But Piglet didn't answer. He was already fast.
Mom,
Hold on. Can I finish this and then we'll talk about this? Wait. Jeez, toddlers. Preschoolers. "Do you think you might be able to sleep now, Piglet?" Pooh asked with a huge yawn. Piglet. But Piglet didn't answer. He was already fast asleep. That is the Mickey Mouse story that we've already read previously. But we'll read it again tomorrow. Dad is home. All right. I love you, Addie. Good night. Good night. Thank you. Can't end my story without a good night.
Mama, I don't know, so I can't see Dad.
All right. It's fine. fine.
And I like